Hello students, I am Another Sankar Misra, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Department in Silver University. In today's lecture, we will discuss on shaper and planer. Shaper, it is a reciprocating type of machine tool used for producing flat surface. Generally, when the surface is irregular, that time we use the shaping process. Surface may be horizontal, vertical or inclined, and modern shaper can produce contoured surface, and it use reciprocating straight line motion of the tool and particular feet of the job or the tools. By moving the workpiece across the path of the reciprocating tool, a flat surface is generated regardless of the shape of the tool. Also, these are the process, and this is the picture of shaping process. This is the tool, and this is the workpiece, and chip is generated. This is the working table. It can move upward and downward direction, also right and left. This is the cutting tool, single point cutting tool, and ram also can move right and left direction. And this is the column, and this is the base on which all the mechanism is mounted. Principle: on shaper, job is fixed on the work table and the tool cuts while the reciprocating over the job, and the tool is mounted on the reciprocating ram, and the table which supported the job in feet normal to the tool motion at each stroke of the ram, and the tool cuts in the forward stroke generally. Only in case of draw cut shaper, the tool cuts in backward stroke of the ram. So tool generally cut the workpiece at the forward direction and remove the chips and unwanted particles at the backward direction. And the other stroke is both the case remain ideal. There is no cutting action in the stroke. Classification of shaper according to the types of mechanism used for giving reciprocating motion to the ram. There are three types: crank type, gear type, and hydraulic type. And according to the type of ram, horizontal, vertical, and traveling head type. So according to the design of the table, there are two types: standard shaper and universal shaper. And according to the cutting stroke, there are two types: push type and draw type. So this is the figure of shaper machine. This is the cutting tool post. This is the ram. It can move right and left direction. This is the work table, and it will also move upward and downward direction by using this screw jack. And this is the guideway, and which is mounted on the column. And this is the base generally made from cast iron. Principle of parts: base. Shaper base is a heavy structure of cast iron. It supported all the other parts and assemblies, and it is resist vibrations and high compression loads, being of cast iron. And base in bolted down to the subfloor through foundation bolts. Column: it is box structure of cast iron and house the operating mechanism of the machines. It also provides support for other parts of the machines such as ram, cross rail, and column consists of two vertical walls which are supported on the shaper base. And cross rail: the cross rail block is mounted on the front two vertical guideways of the column. The cross rail block has two parallel horizontal guideways, and in the vertical plane the perpendicular to the axis of the ram. And saddle: the saddle moves on the cross rail block and carries the tables on it such that a crosswise movement of the saddle by rotating the cross feet screw by hand or by power make the table to move sideways. And the table is firmly connected onto the saddle, and it gets its crosswise and vertical movements from the saddle and cross rail. respectively. And a table is a box structure and casting having T slots both on top and sides for clamping the jobs. And also we used V block and bench vise to holding the workpiece, and which is mounted over the table, and it is fixed by nut bolt. Ram, it is the reciprocating member with tool and mounted on its front face, and ram is semi-cylindrical in form with a rigid structure heavily riveted inside, and it slides on the two accurately machined guideways and made up the top of the column wise, and the ram is connected to the reciprocating mechanism housing inside the hollow of the column, and ram is housed of the mechanism from the altering the ram positions with respect to the jobs. So we can alter. And principal parts, here is the clamper block, and this is the tool post, and uh, clapper box, and it can rotate angularly, and this is the measurement swivel plate and shaper head, and this is the slide, and this is the bolt and graduated collar and tool fit handle. We can handle it manually, and swivel head plate. This is the swivel head plate. So these are the main parts of shaper head. Principal parts, tool head or shaper head. It is mounted at the front end of ram and has the provision of being swiveled in any direction for shaping angular surface. The tool is held in the tool post. So it is in quick return mechanism. These types of matching tools are of return and counting motions. Therefore, the rotary motions of the driven is converted into reciprocating motions, and the metal is removed in the forward cutting stroke, while the return stroke goes ideal and no metal is removed during this period. And the cutting mechanism is so designed that it moves at the comparatively slower speed and during forward cutting stroke. Whereas during the returning stroke, it allows the ram to move at the faster speed into reducing the ideal rotor time. So that time the efficiency will increase, and this mechanism is known as quick return mechanism. When the forward direction is slow and the backward direction will fast. The reciprocating movements of the ram and quick return mechanism of the machines are generally obtained by in one of the following methods: lever rocker ram mechanism and slide crank mechanism and quick return mechanism and hydraulic system, all types of, and various speed reservoir motor and rack and pinion mechanism also used. Different types of cutting tool used. These are the diagram. Operation performed on shaper operation. In noting, there are various of operation performed on shaper machines. Machining a thin jobs on shaper and cutting an angle on a large job and cutting a digital or wearing of the shaper. So we can make wearing by using this shaping process. Shaping a V or a key way in the block, shaping regularly angled component, and shaping an irregular curved surface. So we can shape the irregular surface and cutting keyways on the shaper when the keyway does not extend the entire length of the shaft, and machining angular surface on the shapers and sequence of machining side of the rectangular parts in the parallel. This is the surface finishing, and we can also make slot by using this shaping process. This is the V slot. Advantages of shaper. The single point cutting tools used in shaper are extensive. These tools can be easily grounded to any desired shape, and the simplicity and ease of the folding work, its easy adjustment, and the simple tool gives the shaper its great flexibility. Shaper setup is very quick and easy, and can be readily changed from one job to the another. And thin or fragile jobs can be conveniently on shapers because of lower cutting force. Limitation: shape only one spice of stroke at a time. No suitable for large parts at stroke length is limited, and overhanging of the arms, and shape stroke only if the longer than 25 centimeter. So it only cut at the forward stroke, and in backward stroke they only remove the chips and unwanted particles. So this is the main limitations, and not suitable. It is we cannot use very large workpiece for this process. Next is planner. This is the diagram of planner, and this is the parts of planner. This is the table on which the job is mounted, and we can hold by using various of tools like bench vise, V block, and jig types. This is the tools, cutting tools, and this is the side tools, head and vertical tool. And these are the horizontal type, and this is the vertical type, and the vertical type can move left and right direction, and they are using two columns. So there are five main parts. These are bed and table, housing, cross rail, and tool head. The bed is a large and heavy casting. Generally, it is made from casting material, and a very large bed consists of two or more casting carefully meshed and bolted together. Provide choice for table to run on housed by the drive mechanism, and table it is the part of which workspace is clamped, and it reciprocates along the ways of the beds, and powered from the various speeds, and other drives can be by hydraulical housings. They are rigid and upright column like casting, and located near the century of each side of the base, and cross rail it is the horizontal member supported on machined ways of upright column, and vertical movement of cross rail allows to the accommodated workspace of different heights. So we can it is the advantage that we can perform at different heights. Types of planar. There are mainly four types of planar. First one is double housing, and next open slide, P-type planar, and plate planar. Double housing planar most commonly used in planar machines, and one drawback and limitation that of workspace due to presence of two housing on each side of the bed. Open side planar, maximum number of tool heads is 3. So there is 3 different tool heads, and advantages accommodate jobs which are two it's and between columns, and double housing planar, and not strong and rigid as double housing planar. So compared to double housing planar, it is less stronger. Planar miller or grinder, same as the double housing planar. It has milling cutter or a grinding head is placed in conventional tool heads on cross rails. A P-type planer used when work becomes extremely heavy and table is kept stationary, and tool reciprocates design is used to plan the largest kind of works, and it is convenient and economical to move machines, and these are the plate panel, special purpose machine tool design, and especially for squaring or leveling edge of heavy steel plates, and job table is stationary. So job table will be fixed, and while tool and operator moves work, and for selling the work for fit and cut. The plate is clamped to a bed, and the side mounted carries in move back and forth. Driving and feed mechanism. Tool heads may be fed in crosswise or vertical direction. Motor driven is usual at the one side of the planer, and drive mechanism is located under the table, where v is equal to ln. L means length of the arm stroke, and n number of full stroke, and 1 plus k, where in case ratio of the return time and the cutting speed. And work holding device, keyboard or clamps, generally stand stop pins, toe dogs, and bases and fixtures. These are the main holding parts. Planar drives, reversible DC motor. Mainly use DC drives as advantage is that speed of the motor can be varied according to the field current supplied, according to the rotations of the tool. And hydraulic drive, it is similar to the used for horizontal shapes, and more than one hydraulic cylinder may be used to give wide range of speeds. Next, slotting mechanism. This is the slotting intro. Basically, slotting machines is a vertically axis shaper, and it is of vertical axis, and the tool moves vertically rather than in horizontal directions. And it is a vertical ram and a hand or power operated rotary table, and the stroke of the ram is similar in slotting machines in shaper. So these are the parts of slaughter machine. This is the same of the shaper and planer machines. This is the base, which is made from cast iron. It can absorb the vibrations of machines. That's why it's made from cast iron. And this is the column, which is hollow type, and all the driving mechanism like step pulley and the gear mechanism are mounted here. And this is the motor, which generally used for the rotary motions, and it transfer the electrical energy to the mechanical energy. And this is the ram, which can use to move the tool from upward and downward directions for the movements. And also it is the guideway. Tool holder is generally used to hold the tool, and this is the cutting tool, single point cutting tool. And this is the table on which the workpiece is attached by using range wise V block, various types or jig type. Mm. So these are the parts of slaughter, main parts. Base, it is also known as bed, and it is a heavy cast iron construction, and it acts as supported for the column. So base generally used for supporting the column and the driving mechanism of ram. So table and other fitting, all the components of the civil machines are mounted over this base column. It is made of cast iron, and it acts as a housing for the complete driving mechanism. And so, and inside it is all the driving mechanism is here, like gear mechanism and the other. Table usually is curricular table is provided and slotted, and this slot providing on top of the table to climb the workpiece. Generally, table is used for guiding the workpiece, and we can fix it by using bench vise, and we block other types of components. And ram, it is moves in vertical directions between the vertical and positions, and provides in front of the column. And the ram supported the tool head to which the tool is attached, and it can mounted to takes place during the downward movements of the ram, and it is moving to downwards for supporting. And here the some holding device, clamps generally used, and T-bolts. Clamps generally used for holding the workpiece, and T-bolts tightening the tails and the vice. We use bench vise or V block, both, and parallel strips, special fixtures for the holding work. And slaughter operation, in slotting machine we can perform this operation like cutting of internal grooves or and keyways. Generally it is used for making a keyways, and cutting of internal gears. Also we can make gears by using this say, slaughter process, and cutting of races. These are the main process. So this is the end of the our sessions. Thank you.